Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a custom NASCAR diecast. You can make a custom NASCAR diecast out of just about any diecast you don't want anymore. And you can use your household items to make these diecast. So let's get right into it. So there's two different varieties of custom NASCAR diecast. First off, you have the NASCAR custom diecast that everyone already starts by when they start making customs. It's the classic whiteout custom. You take whiteout, put it on a car, and see what the result is. I've seen people starting to resort to white paint pens like this one when they make these cars. And that's fine, it works just as good as whiteout. But what many people have started doing these days is painting the base of the car and then putting your details on. I made this Sonic number 87 Cup car not too long ago, and I thought it turned out pretty well, because this was the first custom I'd ever decided to make. Some of you guys may have seen these two cars in my collection video. The two Kurt Busch customs I made. The Monster Energy one turned out really well, and I might actually use it for my NASCAR ZNC Cup Series, if you guys would like. But then there's the ones that don't go so well. You'll try to clear coat them, it botches the paper, destroys the windshields. And then there's the classic case of not matching the paint color. So that definitely is something you don't like to see. But what you do like to see is this. Now a lot of people might see this and say, Zach, this is a damaged car. What are you going to do with a stripped down car that doesn't even look like a NASCAR anymore? Well, I'll tell you what you're going to do with it. You're going to turn it from something like this into something like this. This is Austin Cindric's 2021 Daytona 500 ride. I made it in under 30 minutes using one of these cars. And I'm going to show you how I made that so that you can make a car of your own at your house using household items. You might have to go to Walmart, but the items you get at Walmart only are going to cost a few dollars. You're going to need some standard acrylic paint, some gloss Mod Podge, and a paintbrush, which would cost $5 at your local Walmart. So with that, let's get right in on how to make your custom NASCAR diecast at your house. Here I can be seen applying Mod Podge to the already painted base of the car. I decided to paint this car black because that was the base paint of the car I was creating. But you can use basically any paint that you like. You might see some of the paint on the base coat starting to peel if you use paint remover or not on the original car. That is fine. It won't actually matter in the end because you'll be covering it up with your detail. I made these details myself, and they were actually pretty easy to make. If you know the font of the numbers and stuff that you're using, you can easily make the details yourself. You can see here I put a little bit too much Mod Podge on it, and I'm cleaning it off with my fingers. That's totally fine. You can easily wash it off if you use soap and water. What you're going to want to do is make sure you coat all of the base and then carefully apply the detail roughly to where you want it. If you peel it off, it may peel the paint underneath off, so be careful. Yeah, as I demonstrated, it pulls the paint off. But if you put more Mod Podge, it usually isn't a problem in the end. You can use a normal inkjet printer or any colored printer you have. You could even print out black and white details for a black and white car. You can see I'm applying clear coat on the other side and putting the detail down. Now, if you think it's weird to use clear coat while applying details, it's not. This clear coat also doubles as a glue. Now the first detail is applied, and we can move on to some more. Now that my first detail is applied and fully dry, we can move on to the next details that I'm going to decide to apply. Again, you're going to want to repeat the same process as putting the clear coat that also doubles as glue on the car. Make sure before you put your details on that you carefully cut them out. This one I could be seen applying here. Make sure the details are also spaced properly so that you can fit the number on. If you notice, later in the video, I'm going to apply a detail on the right side of the car that's going to be a little bit too much forward. Off camera, I did fix that detail, but it was a little dangerous and I almost ripped the detail. But in the end, it was fine.
Yeah.
And if the detail slides around on you, don't worry. You can bend it around corners because it is made out of paper. You can also print your details out on a detail sheet and use water slide details if you like. That works perfectly fine too. This is just the method I found easiest for myself. Now, if you find it hard to match the color of paint that you're wanting to do, you can print out a full detail sheet that has all of the details and you can fully wrap your car. That is a little harder, and I'll show you what those detail sheets look like in a bit. You have successfully applied your side detail now, and you can fold it underneath the wheel well so it can look even more clean. As I already showed you how to apply the other side details, I didn't think it'd be necessary to show you how to apply the other side, because it is the same process as the last side. For the top, you're going to want to coat the whole thing in your glue, and you're going to want to stick the detail that you're going to use on the top. It doesn't have to be a number. You can put literally any detail you want on the top of a car. Just make sure it lines up correctly and looks nice if you're wanting to use this for your stop motion series. You can see when I did it, it ripped off all the paint on the top. But that's not going to matter in the end because you can touch up with a small paint pen. And paint pens cost about $5, give or take, if you want to get just one. So after applying your top detail, make sure it's in the exact spot you want it, as it will be permanent. It will not be able to come off once your glue dries. And you can see here, I'm applying just a little glue under the window so I can fold the detail under. That can help sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't work. And you can see when I'm taking some of the glue off with my finger, it peels some of the paint off. You can see here I'm taking that paint pen I was talking about and just touching up the sides. In the end, it looks like a nice car once you take your paint pen and touch everything up. Now let's show you how to apply the side number. Now that you've learned how to put the top number on, now you're going to learn how to properly shape the numbers on the side. Carefully coat the side of the car with glue. Again, may peel off some of the paint, but that's not going to be an issue in the end. Once you apply the side detail, make sure it's fully fitted to the car you want to put it on. And if it's not fully sticking, you're going to want to grab more glue and put it on there. You can see here, I'm trying to put more glue under there. That works perfectly fine. It doesn't damage the brush, the paper, or the car. The car ends up looking amazing. The number might be a little lopsided, but seeing as how it is a custom, it still looks pretty good. Now I'm just coating the little corners that may come up over time because we don't want that happening. You see, it still comes up because if you use paint remover on the base of a car, you're going to want to give it a thorough clean before you start the car. Well, alright, you've did it. You've completed the first step of the car. Now you've got to put clear coat over it to protect the car in case it gets any water on it. This isn't guaranteed to protect it from water fully, but it might protect it if you get a few drips of water or any sort of liquid on the car. You're going to want to put a fair amount of clear coat over the details you've applied. Make sure that it's even so it doesn't look out of place when you're done. And if you run out of clear coat, an easy solution is tile polish. Most people don't have that lying around though. But it is known by the Nascar community for being a great alternative to clear coat on custom diecast. I did the little red outline with a paint pen on the bottom. That's why you didn't see me applying that. Again, paint pens are like $10 for a cheap pack, and they work just fine. And once you're done clear coating the whole car, it should look great. So let's get back and I'll show you how it looks when you're fully done. Okay, so I talked about in the video that sometimes if you don't have a paint that directly matches the color of the car you want to do, you might want to print out a detail sheet. A detail sheet can look roughly like this, with each part looking like this. You can roughly match it to the size of your car. If it's not directly sized, you might want to try to resize it, but usually you can get the sizing right on your first or second try. And the car I was showing in the video is done. It looks awesome. I put the base on using this clear coat that also doubles as a glue. I put a ton of it there. I used some hot glue there. Put some of it on the sides. And then filled that hole with the glue. And there you go. You've got a custom Nascar. And if you like any of the customs you see in this video, consider liking the video or subscribing. I'll be doing more content like this in the future. Now, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.